You don't like my I-beam?
Mm-mm.
The I-beam on my... Ooh, my voice cracked. Huh?
Oh.
I'm going through puberty.
Puberty.
Oh my gosh. Stay mild, my child. Ruining it.
I'm helping.
You think you're helping. Yes, week 14. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
We're parentally unprepared.
Very. So much so.
We're podcastly unprepared as well. It feels like it's the first time we're doing this like in a morning like setting.
I needed coffee. I'm glad you made some. Thank you so much.
Sure. You've been craving coffee the past couple days.
Yeah, I've been laying off. Doc said it was okay for a little bit.
It's okay.
It's okay to have up to 12 ounces. So I poured a 12-ounce cup.
Right to the 12-ounce mark. Guys, welcome to week 14. Hope you've all been doing really, really well. You can always contact the show at punpreparedpod on Twitter. And you can write into us if you want to, parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. Week 14, hello.
Hi. We're in the second trimester.
Officially.
Yes, officially.
Fetus week continues.
I might have said second trimester was 12 weeks, and then I found out. I don't know if I said that on the podcast or if I just said that amongst me and you, but yeah, then I found out. No, it's not.
Amongst friends. So how's the mama to be feeling? How's things going?
It's easing up a little. That second trimester's the best one for a reason.
I know you've been feeling the shift of things, like as far as
my
room
organs
being made.
Yeah, my organs are moving, y'all. Like, I did not realize. I mean, obviously, stuff moves around because you've seen pregnant people, and you're like, how do you fit a 10-pound baby in there? But
I hope it's not 10 pounds.
No, me too. Me too. But yeah, like just in practicality, I've never really sat down and thought about what happens when those organs start rearranging themselves, essentially. And yeah, you get like little sharp pains, like around ovaries and uterus and bladder and tummy and stuff, like. Or stomach.
You said it feels like when you flip a tendon on, like,
yeah,
like if you ever like lean on a muscle weird and it kind of pops the other way, like
sort of like that. Also, just like just you ever like take off running before you've stretched and like your ankle goes ow, like it like stretches the tendon too much and you didn't roll your ankle or anything, but you like kind of tweaked it.
Yeah,
feels like that,
okay.
And that's in my stomach. Kind of constantly.
Yeah, you were saying it felt similar to like a sprain almost, like, but not like a full-on sprain.
Nah, sprain's worse. I will like it's not like a cramp, like a normal monthly cramp or anything. It's more like this little twinge of stab that's totally tolerable, but a pain in your neck, in your stomach, technically. I was trying not to say something else.
Oh,
I'm gonna win this week, y'all.
Pain in your boot.
In my boot, yes. But yeah, so it's like, it's an interesting sensation. It's like, it's achy. It's a little achy. And it's preferable to nausea all the time. I will say that. So It's just interesting. My back is a little sore. I don't know if that's just because of my lifestyle right now, because I had a lot going on at work and I've been stuck at a desk a lot, but.
We've been getting kind of amped up for Halloween too. I mean, obviously we're not going out to do anything. We're going to be staying around the house.
What is Halloween? Halloween is this Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Post Halloween by the next podcast.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So next podcast we'll be in. Oh,
I'm gonna stop that.
Break things.
Not doing
Use
that
that one.
again.
Yeah, there you go. When the coaster holds onto the bottom of the cup is the worst feeling. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna carve pumpkins this week.
Yeah.
And watch some more scary movies and stuff like that. Maybe play some scary games.
Woohoo.
Could be fun. And I was trying to think. Yesterday
I almost had my fill of scary games already.
Really? Yeah. We've done quite a few. I was trying to think. Yesterday I was making breakfast and we were just kind of like milling about the house, and I put on one of my favorite childhood scary movies. Ernest Gets Scared Stupid. Or Ernest Scared Stupid, not Ernest Gets Scared Stupid.
Yeah, Ernest Scared Stupid was fun. I forgot a lot about that movie.
So much.
We didn't even finish it. We need to finish it.
And as adults, seeing seeing Ernest movies, like you pick up on a lot more of like he's acting really goofy, but you realize, oh, he's actually making really smart jokes in this.
Oh yeah,
like super smart
cracking up.
jokes.
Also, it made me realize I'm never gonna be like that fun with a kid. I'm like, I want to be Jim Varney fun for the kid.
I will be.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. You think you'll be. You think you're helping.
But it just kind of got me re-excited. Like I was just excited about, Halloween stuff. We watched some scary movies, or no, we watched the scary shorts on Friday night. Like we went through Hulu. They have a Huluween, like a bunch of little short movies that were really cool, and some that you could actually show to kids, like if they're a little older.
Yeah, right.
Some of them are very adult, but there was one like what was the one where the kids were camping?
Oh yeah, the Gilly Muck.
Gilly Muck.
That one was fun. It was scary at the end.
The Gilly Muck looked like a baby Oscar the Grouch, honestly.
It was really cute.
Very cute.
It was very cute. It was competing with Baby Yoda for cuteness.
But it was like these little mini, I was telling you, it's like someone took some new stories from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, God, I missed that show.
Brought them to life.
We're going to have to find that on Hulu.
Wait, no, you're thinking about Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, yeah, you're
Scary
right.
Stories to Tell in the Dark were the books.
Oh, yeah, where they made that scary, insane PG-13 movie last year.
Yeah.
It was not PG-13 because it made me want to cry and hide in my closet.
I think that would be a cool thing to share, though, with a kid at some point. It's like the Nickelodeon Are You Afraid of the Dark, if you can find them.
I loved it.
The Goosebumps. I think Goosebumps are like on.
The Goosebumps TV shows suck, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least maybe I just picked it up too late in life. The books were where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to find a bunch of R.L. Stein and just stock the bookshelves.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about,
this is how you make an anxious child, y'all.
we did some more looking at the nursery today. I think I put up some pictures on the Twitter. I'm pretty
did
sure.
you? I didn't even know that.
I think so. Just of
Where we're starting.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you go to at P Unprepared Pod on Twitter, I did put up some pictures of the nursery progress. Like there's still a full size bed in there that's going to come out.
Maybe this week. Possibly this week, I heard.
And be replaced by a crib and all that stuff. So we'll be updating how the nursery looks on the Twitter account. Because, I mean, if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, it's not too weird to share, I don't think.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to keep it mild, my child. She sent me some links this week of people's really, really
over the top
nurseries. And I might actually put the link in.
No, I mean, we probably amped it up. They're not that. They're over the top for us.
Yeah, they're over the top. They're basically.
They're more than we would do.
Yeah, they're basically like if you had an unlimited budget to build a nursery is what it looks like. You're just kind of like, oh my goodness. You said it perfectly actually before we started. You're like, they were Pottery Barn people.
Yeah.
They're clearly Pottery Barn people.
Which I love Pottery Barn. I love to take design inspiration from them, but I go to TJ Maxx and Marshalls and then make it happen.
Well, there's that. And
Target.
There's just the fact that like some people pick one way and then they just go way in.
Yeah.
Some of these you're like, hey, it looks good, but it's kind of terrifying how good it looks. You know what I'm saying? And part of me looks at them and I'm like, but you're going to have to change all this because as soon as a kid gets old enough, like they're going to be like, no, take these 5 million,
rainbows
out of this room.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of people ask me if we're painting the nursery, which we're not. When I think I said before, when we set up this room originally, when I was kind of redoing our upstairs, I was hoping eventually we could use it as a nursery. So I made it a nice neutral color that would kind of go with whatever happened. And
you still got the booze bottles in there, though. I'm seeing this.
They're antique booze bottles.
They are.
But yeah, so people have been asking me if I was going to paint. I'm not, but I was thinking about it. If she grows up, what if she wants like some loud, insane color? And like, I got to do that in my room. I feel like it's kind of a rite of passage that you kind of get to decorate your own space once you hit like 11, 12 or like try something new. And I'm like, maybe I could do that parental tricker thing where I'm just like, here's some colors. Which one do you like? And then she picks one and I go pick a shade of that looks good with the house.
I think at least the way I feel would be, especially being a kid that didn't get to really, I got to customize my room, but I didn't get to customize everything about the room.
I got to pick the paint on the. I got to really customize stuff when I was younger.
See, that's kind of cool.
I mean, we didn't go over the top with like a full design aesthetic like we have in our house now, but I got to pick the paint and I got to pick like a general light thing. Like I picked stars and moons back in the 90s, you know.
I think the main thing will be
that's the dog with her cone.
With her cone. I think the main thing will be like, I want to nurture the creativity as much as I can, like in any aspect. I just nurture it because I feel like I'm not that I blame my parents in any way for not thinking I'm creative or not nurturing it. It's just I want to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, believe me, there's no way that I'm not going to be handing that kid like a pen and art pad every chance she has. So.
Right. But when it comes to that room, I also want to. There's also a way to teach a lesson there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, be like, okay, so this is what you want it to look like. Here's what goes into that. Here's how it comes together.
But if I have a little kid that's like digging on the Stevie Nicks style and wants to go full boho, which is not necessarily my style.
Frick is boho.
Like bohemian. Like
okay.
Yeah, like, and she wants deep purple, like maroons and aquas.
Like Smoke on the Water, deep purple.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah.
It's gonna be like walking into a teenage boy's room in like 1970.
I mean, basically, like, what if she wants to paint the thing neon orange? What if she's a Gator fan? Sorry, y'all.
A Gator fan. Oh gosh, a Gator fan. Just the same thing. Smoke on the Water. Woo! Only there's gonna be jean shorts tacked to the wall as well.
Sorry,
it's gonna be great.
Sorry if you're from Gainesville.
I'm not.
You're not. Good to know. There's the little things where I'm just like, oh, this is my control freak that I'm gonna have to dial back and let this kid breathe.
I think I'd be pumped if our kid went boho. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's
that
a
means
cool
she's
style.
probably gonna really be into music.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I don't.
She could be into witchy things too. Who knows?
Witchy woman.
Yeah, crystals and stuff. Her grandmother's kind of like that, so I can see it happening.
Like, look, I'm not gonna stifle it, but I'm gonna like cock an eyebrow. I'm gonna be like, what is it?
If she comes to you and just tells you your entire horoscope, just run with it. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I put this under my pillow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you love me, Dad.
Okay.
It's good. It's good for you.
Okay.
It's good energy. It's fine. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, man. It's like
good energy.
That's the thing that I keep thinking about, and my mind just keeps racing about is the sheer possibilities of what this little person's gonna be like. Like, we have no clue who this new roommate's gonna be. You know.
You know what's interesting? I was kind of thinking about it when we were talking about putting animal stuff up in the nursery. You know, we've looked at quite a few. Did we talk about it? I found the Noscaline thing. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah. But I wonder how much of a role the parent plays in the kid figuring out their favorite animal and favorite color. You know, because if that's what's around, maybe it ends up being their favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's elephants all over the walls. So all of a sudden, this kid grows up and becomes an adult. It's like, oh yeah, elephants are my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, did you just inception that in your kid?
I mean, it's nurture versus nature. That's the genuine question there.
So it just kind of makes me want to be like, just put every animal in there.
Well,
put all the animals.
When I was growing up, I really liked tigers. Like, tigers were my favorite. I don't remember there being tigers around all the time though.
Yeah.
Now I'm a big otter fan and dogs. Like, if everybody always asked me, like everybody who has ever asked me what my favorite animal is, was just a whole three people. I generally just am like, it's dogs, man. Like, I'm sorry, it's boring, but they're the best.
Well, and I'm actually surprised you didn't want to put otters all over the.
My mom's wanting me to put some otters in there. She wants to put wolves in there and wolfies and otters and all kinds of stuff in there.
Like the big bad wolf?
No, like a
big teeth, yellow eyes.
No.
We can get a cardboard cutout of the Michael Jackson Thriller wolf.
That'll work. I think that's a great idea.
I was telling you this week, and I actually retweeted it on the account. I guess, what was it? The dolls that are coming out. that are the makers of Monster High. They did these like baby dolls that are all horror themed. So they've got like a Pennywise girl doll.
It's amazing.
And then they've got actually the twins from The Shining.
They look like Bratz dolls, right?
They're kind of Monster. Yeah, Monster High is similar to Bratz.
Okay.
Monster High is like the goth version of Bratz.
Okay. All that stuff was like after my time.
Mrs. Frankenstein, stuff like that.
Okay.
Kind of that vibe. But
I think I had a cousin or two that might have been young enough for Bratz, but
yeah, here you go. Look at this one.
That's amazing.
Mattel Creations on Instagram.
I saw on Reddit the other day some dude had twins and he dressed his twins up like the twins from The Shining, and his caption was, "Been planning this one since the day they were born."
I kind of want to,
and they were like 9 at least.
I wish, like, I look forward to, because we talked about Halloween. I look forward to decorating and just doing all that stuff.
It's gonna be fun. Know? I was showing you stuff today, like there's like ways to do ghost hands and ice and punch bowls, like with ice, like you take gloves and you fill them like food safe gloves, and you fill them up with water and freeze them, and then you peel the glove off and you've got ghost hands for your ice cubes that you stick in your punch bowl. And then like I was sending you like cardboard costumes, like dinosaurs and robots and stuff that we could do on the cheap because
I mean, there's
anything to do with cheap costume.
Well, and for you, anything to do with dinosaurs.
Yes.
Anytime she sees something that's like little kid dinosaur, she's like, look. I'm like, you're not the child here. Like, but I want to be. My
best friend, when she found out we were having a girl, she was like, oh my gosh, I get to buy her pink frilly things. Like, she has a nephew. And she was like, I mean, dinosaur onesies are fun and everything. I was like, get the dinosaur onesie too, man. I'm like, just because she's a girl, hate. She likes T-Rexes, I guarantee it. Actually restarted.
You're going to Inception that into her.
I restarted the Jurassic Park series this week.
I know. How many times do you think you're going to watch that with a kid?
Well, okay, the new one's coming out in 2022, so at least twice with her before the new one comes out, I'm pretty sure.
You're going to terrify that kid of dinosaurs.
She's too young. At this point, she'll be too young to even know what a dinosaur is.
I want the Shining Twins cardboard cutout right there.
Okay.
Put it in the hallway.
You have enough life-size things in this house that go nowhere.
Out in that hall.
And here's the thing. We have no storage in this house. If we had storage in this house, I would let you buy random things that we don't need, that cost money, that we don't have, to your heart's content.
I'll find storage.
But we don't have no.
They're flat. They can store somewhere easy.
You were annoyed with me about what I was going to do with the bed that is currently in the baby's room, and because we have no storage. I found a solution because it's going to be stored at someone else's house for a little while. Wow. So if you got a friend that wants to keep that in their garage, sure.
I'll keep it in the studio somewhere.
I know. You got a friend. I'm sure they'll keep it.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got a guy.
You got a guy.
But so we've been kind of looking at, like, the other night we were kind of talking about different things we wanted to add to the nursery, not too much, but where do we put books, like stuff like that. Yeah. So we're going to try to figure out a bookshelf solution, and kind of got to talking about like how, I don't know, like me and my brother we're about 4 or 5 years apart, and we had amassed just like not even a giant bookshelf, a normal size tall bookshelf. Probably,
but when you're little, it seems giant. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's like a maybe a 6 foot tall bookshelf, the normal size you'd get. And we'd filled that thing slap up with books.
Oh yeah, I was telling you, this is the least amount of books I've ever had in my entire life. Like,
yeah, we unloaded a lot when we were kind of getting the house situated.
Yeah, and I'm down to like one of those half IKEA bookshelves.
Yeah,
and that is the least amount of books I've ever had. So
I've got a good amount in here.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, but honestly, you'd probably fit on a half IKEA bookshelf too.
Yeah,
like
it's not like
we've got your bookshelves kind of decorated with stuff and books mixed between the two.
Yeah, you would think I read. I really don't read as much as I used to, but I'm working on it.
I got baby books to read right now. I got assignments.
Yeah, you do. You got like actual homework.
Yeah.
But we were kind of talking about like, okay, so what do we do? Because we've got shelves in there. You can see them in the picture. Right now they have bottles on them, but if they were normal size books, they would be fine. But
the kid books are
weird.
Books
are really like flat and wide.
Yeah.
So
long,
deep. Just for the big pictures, and we get it. So we're trying to figure out ideas. If you've got bookshelf ideas, preferably wall-mounted ones.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep things off the floor.
Well, off the floor so the kid doesn't pull them over when they're 1.5.
Send us some links. Send us some pictures. You can send them to the Gmail, parentallyunprepared@gmail. You can tweet them to us at PUnpreparedPod on Twitter if you want to. But we're looking for good ideas just because, I don't know, we want it to look good, but we also want it to be functional.
Yeah, you actually just reminded me. I have my childhood fairy tale book that my grandmother used to read me, and the binding came off of it years ago. So we've been talking about it for years that we have to get this thing rebound.
Where do you get something like that done?
I was thinking we've got a place in town that might be able to do it, but
I guess there's a couple of those spots, right?
yeah, I don't know. I was thinking too, like my hometown, there's a lot of old school artisanal type people that specialize in weird things you never expect them to. So I'm like, if I can't find somebody around us to do it, I might have to call in a favor to the parents and see if there's something around them. But
I know some people at work that might know too. So
that's a good idea. Yeah.
I'll find out because.
But yeah, like this is like it's a picture book, but it's also like got small words. So this is you read it to your kid type book for sure. But it has all the classic fairy tales and not the scary ones. Like
I've got the book of the scary ones.
You do have the book of the scary ones, but it's like
I can't wait to read those too.
It's not Disney. It's not Grimm. It's the happy medium between the two. And I used to love it. And I'm like, I want to read her these.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me.
Yeah, and it's a careful. Right. It's a careful balance of, like I was saying, like how much are you pushing your influence? Like you want to push
These are fairy
influence.
tales, though.
True. But I'm just talking about in general. We were talking about. I daydream that she will be a fan of horror and she will be a fan of like things that I like as far as like when she gets older.
Yeah.
But it's really going to be up to her.
Well, and that's another thing. Yeah. Like, okay, so do I want to push fairy tales on her? Like we're in kind of a modern age now, and yeah, there's lots of essays out there about how Beauty and the Beast is all about like, Stockholm
Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome. Thank you. I was about to say Florence Nightingale Syndrome. I was like, that's not it. But yeah, like, and like, I don't want to teach her bad lessons that just got ingrained into me because they were part of the culture. Like, and I never stopped to think about it and critically like analyze it. Like, I want to introduce her to the better things. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to accidentally install a complex, right?
Yeah, and like, Cinderella was 15. Ariel was 15. Like, I don't want her thinking she has to run off and get married at 15, 16, like, because that's what little girls do. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I thought I was going to be a spinster when I was 21. Like, you're like, oh, I loved all these fairy tales so much. And some of them really don't give you a realistic outlook on what life is supposed to be like. They give you a fairy tale outlook.
They're very rooted in much older people's view of the world,
For sure.
And I don't know, it is kind of scary, right? Like, it's like, okay, well, I loved this growing up, but it's kind of like, okay, here's a perfect example. We tried to watch Dumbo one time.
Oh God, no.
We tried.
He
tried.
Loves Dumbo.
So I grew up loving the Disney film Dumbo, and I actually so it wasn't just it was just me. I went back because they put it on Netflix at one point.
Yeah,
and
you like the two saddest Disney movies. They are your favorites.
I know. I like Pinocchio as well.
The tearjerkers of them.
So I went back one time. This had to be. I think this was when I was still living like out of state, but it was on Netflix. I was like, ooh, I love Dumbo. I'll just put it on while I'm just chilling at the house. It is such a mean movie, especially in the beginning where like all the other, elephants are talking crap about the mom.
Isn't that the one with the crows in it too?
Are the crows in it? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, but it's just such a mean movie. Like I understand that it comes around and teaches a lesson, and they overcome, and Dumbo overcomes it and all this stuff. But you're just like, wow, that's really just teaching bullying. There's bullying happening right there, and then Pinocchio is kind of similar. It's like, what do you do with bad kids? You ship them off. You ship them off to an island where
maybe we should teach her that lesson.
We turn them into donkeys.
Oh my God, yeah, I can't. Just the separation of children from their parents, like those movies used to give me
Let me write this down.
Nightmares.
24.
Dang it.
You're on the board.
Shoot.
But that would give you nightmares. Like,
I mean, just like anxiety attacks. Like as a little kid, like my mom's gonna die. My mom's gonna leave me. My parents hate me. They're gonna ship me to an island.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of that whole scaring a kid into behaving.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't like that.
Like the elf in the shelf is watching you. Santa Claus. We talked about Santa Claus actually.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do about Santa Claus. If anybody has like done something untraditional about Santa Claus, I would love to hear about it and tweet us, write us.
I think I came up with something that could be fleshed out.
So here's my thing: is like Santa's a cool concept. I definitely don't want our kid to miss out on the wonder and happiness of Santa, Christmas. I don't want her to feel left out, and I also don't want her to be the jerk kid looking at other kids and being like, Santa's not real.
Yeah. You got to not create a monster while you're trying to keep a realistic child.
Yeah, but I also don't want her to have like some sudden realization, oh my God, mom and dad have lied to me my whole life. Like, because a lot of kids don't take that well.
Yeah, there's a lot that don't enjoy that at all.
So tell them your solution, because I do like that, and I'm open to hearing other ones if anybody's got them too. So
my solution was, to present Santa Claus not so much as the all-seeing, all-powerful, this is what you get for Christmas gifts, right? But to present him as kind of a consultant for us, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we consult with Santa Claus, and he kind of lets us know, what you want, how you've been acting, and we take into consideration, that when we talk about Christmas, right?
We're 1099 contractors for Santa,
right? Or we've actually hired him to let us to give us ideas about how to shop for your Christmas, and that way it's not, because you don't want to, like we talked about, installing complexes into kids by reading them certain stories or showing them certain movies. Like there's a complex that's involved with, hey, you better be good because this guy's watching everything you do.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in the world that are like that.
yeah, it's very religious-y, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't want, I don't know, like I don't think I ever, looking back on how I felt as a kid, I was never like,
it didn't bother me when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, but I like, she's going to be a different person than me, so I can't just like bank on what my reaction was too.
Yeah, and you want it to be something easy to explain. So I think that you can keep the magic there and keep a child from being a complete monster and ruining it for other kids. But I don't think it needs to be I remember being a kid and hearing, Santa Claus isn't bringing you anything if you keep this up.
Oh yeah.
You remember hearing that? You're like, I'm going to tell Santa. You know what I'm saying? I'm just be like, okay, well, I got a meeting with Santa this week. So. We'll see what he thinks about this situation.
Yeah, I already told you I'm definitely going to be like the mom that threatens to cut the cord on the TV, and you immediately were just like, cords are removable. Please don't cut the cord. And I'm like, I got it.
That's what my mom used to do, man. She would just, if it had a power cord that could attach or detach, if I did something wrong, it was gone.
Yeah.
By the time I got home from school, it's gone.
Well, and that's okay. So everybody keeps asking me when I'm going to put a TV in the nursery too, and I'm like, I'm not putting a TV in there.
I agree.
Like, the kid doesn't need a TV in their room until they're at least a teenager.
They're going to get so much screen time in their life.
Yeah.
It's.
And my mom was even just like, you're going to be in there like feeding her, and in the middle of the night and you're going to be bored. And I'm like, I have Netflix on my phone.
Times are a little different. Yeah. True.
I was like, I should probably take that time and read a book or something.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I've kind of thought about that too. It's like those late nights where you got to be up and just hanging out with the kid while they're having, being.
The late nights are probably going to be hard to read a book because you're going to be tired as hell. But
yeah, but I think it might also be soothing to hear your voice for the kid. Yeah. So if you just kind of read out loud, no matter what it is, because it's not like they really understand what you're reading. So, I mean, I'm sure we will eat our words several times over in many different ways, because I can already picture you I can already picture you or me being like, Santa Claus isn't bringing you anything. You're getting nothing.
And they'll teach you about what coal and switches are.
Go pick a switch.
No, not that kind. But like, there was a bundle of sticks.
Bundle of switch. Yeah.
No, okay.
Kindling
picking a switch was the dumbest thing in the world, by the way, because one, okay, I had to pick a switch a couple times as a kid, and it never hurt like a belt did, ever.
I'll happily pick a switch.
I'll go pick any damn switch you want. It just didn't hurt. And maybe it's just because my parents didn't know how to actually spank you with a switch, because they got
finesse.
They got hand and belt beatings growing up. And those are the ones I was scared of. Oh man, my mom went through a country western phase, and she grabbed the wrong belt one time.
The rhinestone belt.
She stopped spanking me that day and never felt worse.
I just picture the scene from Dazed and Confused.
Oh God. Yeah, it's the corporal punishment's also a thing we're trying to figure out. That's going to be interesting.
I don't think it's necessary.
I don't either.
We've talked about it on here already a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be super, what is the word?
Dark?
No, well, dark, yeah, but like where we're from, like it's polarizing. Lots of people are just like, no, you got to beat them, make them good people. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Along the lines of Santa Claus, obviously there's the other things that come into play: the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. All
How
that
much
stuff.
do you think is fair money for a tooth?
For a tooth?
Adjusting for inflation.
For one tooth, when you got a mouthful, $5.
That's a lot.
You think?
I think that's a lot.
What do you think? $1?
I think it depends on when they start losing teeth.
Are you one of those like, here's a shiny quarter?
No.
Here's a shiny
I think $5
quarter.
is definitely where I would cap it.
A dime's about a little bit bigger than a tooth, right? 10 cents. Go get you something from the bubble gum machine.
All right, listen, if they start losing teeth at 3 o'clock, we're going to get out of this, or 3 o'clock, 3 years old, we're going to get out of this cheap.
Yeah.
But no, I think $5 is definitely where you cap it. My brother's got 10.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I would be knocking my teeth out. I really need a video game.
Yeah, and I
Son,
say
this
five,
is a adult tooth. You just knocked out an adult tooth from your mouth. I gotta get that Street Fighter game.
I got 5. Like I remember, I got $5. So I got 1 sometimes. I think
I got
like
5.
Yeah.
I think I got 5. I don't know if I ever got 10. You know what? I did get 10 one time.
Are you serious?
I do. I think that was more so a. Guilty.
Did they know that was the last one?
I think it was. I think it could have been my first tooth, maybe, or something like that. I also think there was a little bit of guilt there. Like,
why?
I don't know. I mean, if we want to get deep, I think it's just like I don't see you a whole lot.
Oh, I think that might have been why I got 5 all the time.
I don't see you a whole lot.
It was the 90s, and I was getting $5 a tooth. Like I was rolling in it.
Yeah, kind of like my mom's dad was just not. He didn't live in country. He didn't live here. So the rare times we did see him, it was like, here's some money.
Yeah.
He was like, I know I'm not in your life. Here's $20. And I was like, woo, we're going to the mall.
Everybody needs somebody in their family like that.
I know. If I don't have a meaningful relationship with you,
Here's some
I'll take some money.
Cold, hard cash.
But I mean, along the lines of the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and all that stuff, we've talked about like, how do we handle religion? How do we handle that oncoming, like, because obviously the world has a lot of influence, and she's gonna meet people that are very evangelical. She's gonna meet people who are atheists and don't care or don't even know. Like, she's gonna meet all kinds of people, and our goal is to really not push anything on her, because I especially, and I'm thinking about that for you in general, because I know that you grew up in kind of that scenario. I didn't really grow up in a religious scenario.
Oh yeah.
Religion was there, but it was just kind of an appearances thing for us.
I grew up in a pretty evangelical area, and I was pretty into it. And I will say there are many benefits. It teaches a lot of interesting socialization tactics that you need. you definitely need. And I mean, obviously you can develop friend groups and do fun things with like, overnights and outings and camps.
It's social. Yeah.
It's super social. There's also good moral teachings and morality things. There's a lot of fire and brimstone, scare the hell out of the kid things that I don't like. But I mean, there's
again,
good.
it's the scaring you to behave.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad. I don't want to turn her away from anything she's interested in, unless it's something bad, But I want to give her a realistic view without being like a pessimist and without downloading my crap on her.
Right. Downloading your weirdness.
Yeah. Like, so, which is going to be hard. Like, that's going to be an active battle probably for the rest of mine and her life. Like, don't let my prejudices skew what she learns about the world. But at the same time, like, don't make her learn all the hard lessons I had to learn the hard way. Like, give her some advice. Like,
right.
So basically, I think like it'll be good. We have a lot of people in our family that'll give her different ways to be introduced to that kind of stuff, just naturally. And then she'll be in school with people that are into it, and she'll get interested. And I think it'll be really organic. I don't think we have to really worry or force anything. And then we'll have some interesting and tough conversations here and there, and
yeah,
it'll happen. I'm not terribly worried about the religion stuff. I think the way we live is just going to be the best example. Like,
yeah, God is just like a consultant to us, honey, and Jesus is our contractor.
What?
No, I'm kidding. No, he's a carpenter. Come on, it's a carpenter joke.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, no, I think that I was pretty. My parents were never like super happy that I wasn't the most religious kid,
Well, I'm sure they were pretty sure you were a Satanist with Marilyn Manson all over your walls. But
true. But like, I can appreciate that they let me do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that does surprise me. Like,
they definitely had their opinions about it. But
my
they
family
never,
was like, "You're not buying that Nine Inch Nails album at all. That's devil music."
I can say that they never went through and was just like, "I'm taking any of these CDs that have parental advisory on them." They were never that.
See, my parents wouldn't let me listen to Manson or Nine Inch Nails, but Bone Thugs and Harmony and
because they didn't know what they were saying.
Eminem and like Ice Cube, fine. Like, it's not Satanist. They just like, oh God, I want to say stuff and I can't now.
Well, we're not racist.
No. I was gonna curse. I was gonna like quote lyrics and they have curse words in them.
No, don't do that. No, I think that like the worst thing you could do with a kid is take that stuff away or tell them not to do it because it's just gonna push them to do it.
Oh, the first stuff I
They're
started
gonna be
listening to in college.
Why don't you want me to?
I was like, let me go to this Nine Inch Nails concert in college immediately.
Let me look into this further now that you've said you don't want me to look at it.
Yeah, the bad influence friend I had at 13 was like all into that music, and I was like, yes, I'm going to her house.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be a lot to consider. But I think that the overall arching thing, I kind of started with the animals. Like, you don't want you want to.
Oh God, we took a long path.
We did take a very long path. You don't want to. You want to be like, hey, here's what I'm interested in. Here's what you might like, but you don't want to inception and be like, you will like this. This is what and you don't want them to. I know what it feels like to. Not this sounds dramatic, but live in a moral fear. Like, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna be punished later. By Santa Claus or by God or whatever. Like, I don't want to raise a person that feels like that.
But you also want somebody that like has a moral compass. Like,
yes.
So you don't want to raise a sociopath. So you got to like put some, principles and like.
Well, and I think that, one of the things we talked about the other night, I was like the best thing, because you had some concerns about, this world that she's coming into, this, all these things, like, what is it going to be like for her as a woman? And I was like, the best thing we can do is just be as open and honest as we can and educate, just be like, here are the facts kind of thing, without, and obviously tailor it to whatever age she is. When she's a teenager, you can be a little more frank than when she's 8. So I think that's probably the best thing is just talking to them like they're an adult and not covering it up by being like, well, Santa Claus doesn't like it. That's why. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have more of these conversations because there's just the world presents us with very challenging ideas based off of people who have no idea what it's like to be a woman.
There's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
or to even be another person.
Empathy is a huge thing that I'm like trying to listen to podcasts, and like I read somewhere that, you know, the more fiction you read a kid and that a kid reads themselves as like the younger they are, the better, like that you start them off doing that, the better off they are, because if you read fiction, you know, they're putting you in other characters' shoes a lot, and it teaches empathy. So that's going to be on the docket. And you know, I always think back to that Donald Glover bit where he was doing stand up, where he's like, children are just tiny little Hitlers and they have no empathy.
Yeah. That's something that you can not even trick into them, but like you can present to them, and you can find a way for it to make sense to them, because maybe they're not into sci-fi, but maybe they're into fantasy, right?
Oh,
like, or maybe they're not into either of those, but they're into like spy novels or something like that.
I was really into like the King Arthur and Prince Valiant and stuff like that when I was younger.
Yeah,
because I was a history nerd, like from the start. So, I mean, it's just, like you started off with teaching them how to share, and like, what does it feel like when somebody takes something away from you? It doesn't feel good. That's how it feels to them. Like, and that's really oversimplifying it, but
empathy is the core. Like, to me, being a good
society,
person, it's the core to a morality, or at least having that's kind of like your scaffolding for morality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like and it's a fine line to walk. You don't want to raise someone who's too empathetic and kind of gives in at every, you know, like, oh, I'm really sorry, and they become a person that gets run over. But, you know, educating to be like, look, this is when a person's taking advantage of you, of your nicety, and then this is when, you know, when you're not being nice enough, kind of thing. So, and that's the thing you can hope for, because that's what, regardless of how they feel about religion, or regardless of how they feel about the music they like and stuff like that, it's when it comes down to it, are they a person who is going to, you know, at least try to understand how the other person feels?
Yeah.
Because I think that the world, especially right now, is full of a lot of people who don't do that.
I mean, and there are some people whose feelings you have to disregard because they're not coming from a good place.
Oh, they're crazy people feelings.
Yeah. So it's so much to take into account. It's like spinning plates. Like, it's so overwhelming to think about all the things we're going to need just to keep her existing, you know, like just to keep her like healthy and happy and, you know, here. And then along with that, all the things you worry about like helping her develop her brain and personality.
But the cool thing to keep in mind is, you know, I was talking to a friend yesterday, who he was born in Europe, you know, but he knows English, and like he's got a really good English vocabulary and stuff like that. And you know, it's all about like looking at it just like even like a problem in the house, or when you want to redo a house. It's not all one big bite.
Yeah.
It's piece by piece. So like, but right now for us, she's not even here. So we're just kind of like, when she's 13, what do we do about this? And
I mean, yeah, we're like basically building a house from scratch right now, and we're trying to think of the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's nice to at least have those thoughts in mind. So when it does come up, because it'll come up faster than you think. So.
Yeah, the fact that we're in the second trimester is insane. My brother called me the other day to check on me, and he was like, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm in the second trimester." And he's like, "Wow." He was like, "I can't believe how fast this is already going." I was like, "Yeah, same, buddy."
Yeah. So it'll be here quick, but I want to also enjoy it. I don't want everybody that's listening to feel like we're dreading anything. We're not. It's just the things you think about.
Well,
right?
And that's the thing. It's like anything I do start kind of like thinking ahead on. People, I've got a lot of people that are just like, "You're worrying." I'm like, it's not worry. Like I'm basically planning. This is me planning out loud, chatting, getting unsolicited advice whenever possible, please.
Right.
And
not too much though.
And no. And then like, and and then when I do worry, people are just like, well, you have to enjoy it. And I'm like, I'm enjoying everything, but like, this is part of it. Like,
sure.
Like, I'm really very excited about being pregnant. It's been fun so far, besides, a little bit of nausea here and there, and that's not been terrible. Help, people are letting me sleep in. I'm getting away with murder. It's great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can I get a bathroom break before we go into some of this?
Yeah, you can. Go for it.
My other baby wants to be held.
We're back. Oh, the other baby girl.
She's being...
The original baby girl.
She's being super sweet. Super sweet. You should go, baby.
You can hear her licks.
Get him. Lick the mic. Lick the mic. This is all you do. You lick everything.
Everything. Our little girl Bonnie is almost to full recovery on her spay. She got spayed a week and a half ago, and she gets the stitches out when?
Thursday.
Gotta
check my calendar.
Yeah. So, we're back.
I'm aiming for them to have the same birthday.
We're back from our little break, and before we get out of here, we always get into our what to expect type situation. Got to pull up your app.
I got it.
Your apparoni. So last week we had a lemon. I got a lemon. This week we've got a navel orange. That's quite a jump in growth. Navel oranges are pretty big.
I think you're thinking of big oranges.
Navel oranges are the ones with the little circle on them, like the little.
Yeah, but the other thing she's the size of is a baseball. So navel
oranges were like closer to soft, like between baseball and softball.
I think you're thinking of Monsanto navel oranges.
Give me those genetically modified.
Yeah.
I almost typed in. Not,
you know how
not
big a baseball
orange.
is. That's the one I'm going with. Baseball.
I want to see navel
how big
orange
is the navel
images.
Orange? Yeah, man. Baseball size.
Ish. That's a little bit bigger than a baseball.
Your face is bigger than a baseball.
Oh, my head's huge. They're so gross looking. Look at that. Look at these. Look at this one. It looks like a little alien's getting ready to go.
That's what my belly button's going to look like in 3 months.
Oh, God. Alien button.
Yeah, I was reading about that, and they were like, yeah, your belly button is going to go from an innie to an outie. And I was like, it's going to be cool.
Oof, belly buttons freak me out. Navel orange, what's our nostalgia?
Let's see. It is bubble tape bubble gum container.
Oh, yeah. Bubble tape. It's 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Yeah. I don't want to recite the rest. But I do remember the commercials because for some reason I was a freak about commercials as a kid.
Well, because that's all we watched. Like every 5 minutes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles programming had 4 minutes of commercials trying to sell us stuff.
The child 1000% will be watching Animaniacs, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Which is coming back.
For Animaniacs.
Hulu's bringing them back for 13 new episodes.
Can't wait.
They've got all the originals on Hulu as well. So I will be showing the child that at some point.
Can she watch SpongeBob too? I love SpongeBob.
Sure.
It was a little after my time, but I still love it.
It's on Disney Plus. What is that on? It's on something.
It's Nickelodeon. So
we'll find it.
Yeah,
we'll pirate it. We'll do something. Here's what you don't do,
no,
child.
we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. FBI guy that's listening to us.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. We're not going to show them how to get things that they cannot have on digitally.
Whoa.
All right. What?
Continue. Okay, so this is just like something under the What to Expect app.
Mm-hmm.
They give you like little just quick reads to kind of like give you some idea of what's going on.
Tidbits.
Tidbits. One of them is continued breast growth and less tenderness. But the icon that they've got is like a witch's boob. It's green. It's like a pear or something that like a piece of fruit they're comparing to a boob, but it's like malformed and green with like a purple stem that looks like a nipple.
Well, it looks like the little barb on like a succulent.
Something like that. It's terrifying looking. I'm like, please tell me my boobs won't look like that.
They're gonna turn green. It'll be colder than a witch's you know what.
Oh, God.
Perfect for Halloween.
Perfect, yes.
Ugh.
Ugh.
That is terrible.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know why they did that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
There's plenty of things already scaring me.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. I think I told you, but I looked up postpartum care this week for some reason because I felt like giving myself nightmares.
Why would you do that?
Y'all, there's a lot of stuff they don't tell you until you're just like at the hospital and you're like, oh, I'm supposed to know all this.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Thank you.
I might have to talk about it on here though, because we're supposed to be preparing people, right? I don't know. Hey, pumpkin,
All right, fine.
Little pumpkin.
We can talk about it closer to time.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best.
Do you think?
Just licking everything?
Yeah, not in postpartum, but we're talking about Bonnie again.
She's needy. Sorry.
She's very needy. How do you think this? I guess this can continue after you give birth, right? Yeah.
Originally you said it would.
Yeah. I guess I'm always thinking about like
this isn't pregnancy unprepared. It's parentally unprepared.
Yeah. So we can just talk about all the weird things the kid does.
That's my plan.
At a glance, say cheese. Are you making faces at me? To welcome your second trimester, your baby can now use her facial muscles to grimace and smile.
She's grimacing at every dad joke you make.
Oh, God, she better be.
Yeah. Yeah. So
ready for more. Be ready.
She can't hear you yet. So got about 2 weeks before she can recognize at least my voice, maybe yours.
Maybe I can Morse code it out on your.
Yeah. So we've still got a little time before the bones that make up your inner ear and like actually reverberate to translate to your brain to make sound.
Yeah.
Those should be formed by 16 weeks. So we're at 14 now. We got a minute. But they said by 24 weeks she should she can hear our voices by 16, at least mine, because we're connected and all. But by 24 weeks she should be able to recognize my voice as me and maybe you. And around between there is when you can like start putting like headphones on the belly and play music and stuff. They don't know if that helps at all, but it's worth a shot.
First song, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. You're going to be a boho.
I like Witchy Woman. Ooh, ooh, witchy woman. You sound better than me. Stuffy nose. Those pesky hormones are to blame once again. High levels of estrogen and progesterone increase blood flow to the mucous membranes in the body, including the nose, which causes them to swell and soften. Need a humidifier, and that'll make breathing easier. Yeah, I've had stuffy nose like every day, and I was just blaming it on fall, and then I read that. You
kind of always did, though.
I mean, I got allergies. I live on Zyrtec, so
yeah. Peach fuzz. My voice can't stop cracking today. This is what we get for recording early in the morning, actually. Peach fuzz. It's all about body hair now. Your baby sprouts some on her head, eyebrows, and body. Little peach fuzz.
Yeah, she's gonna be a little monkey.
Ah.
But they said that most of the time the babies like kind of shed that peach fuzz before birth, but sometimes they're born with it, but they shed it quickly after. So I was reading something the other day about crib crown or something like that too. I'm so curious about like how.
Oh, is that when they rub the hair off the back of their head?
Maybe they call everything something different. What are you wanting, doggy?
Apparently, I did that as a kid. I would move my head so much that I eventually just had gone bald on the back side of my head.
Yeah, I was born with a full head of hair, and I think my mom said it was like 6 months or so. Every bit of my hair fell out. And none of it, like I didn't grow hair back till I was almost like 2 years old.
What?
Yeah.
So you're just a big bald baby?
I was just a bald baby. I wasn't that big. I was a
big bald toddler.
I had long hair by the time I was 2. I've seen pictures, but yeah, I was definitely bald for a while. My mom, that's why I got my ears pierced as a baby, because my mom was so tired of people asking how he was, how old is he, all that stuff. It bothered her back then.
Yeah, that's crazy. I also wonder how, I mean, you know how our parents are, how exaggerated that is, though.
What?
Like, oh, your hair fell out. And then all of a sudden at 2, you had long hair. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
How much are you misremembering this mother?
It was 3+ decades ago and nobody filmed anything. So
there's no proof. Yeah. There's no proof.
God, it's gonna be so weird having a kid. We got in bed last night and my like tendons were stretching and I was a little uncomfortable, and you were being nice to me and like rubbing my belly and stuff, and you just went, "It's so weird that you're pregnant." And I was like, yeah, it is.
I can't believe you're pregnant. It's so odd.
It's such a strange thing. I think I had told you like we should be feeling kicking in the next like 2-ish months. And
You'll be feeling it before that, right?
I mean, I'm supposed to start feeling flutters. So I have actually been doing some in my reading. So this is how I know this, because this is not on the app. But yeah, I should be starting to feel her like move around and kind of like flip around and stuff like that. And they said it should feel like butterflies or flutters or gas bubbles in your tummy in the next couple weeks. So moms that have been pregnant before can sometimes feel it as early as 13 weeks. But usually you start feeling it by 16. So lots of stuff happening in the next 2 weeks, y'all.
The alien's growing.
And she should be able to feel like when I touch my stomach now, they said. Like it's comforting. They said it's comforting.
What do they know?
I know. I mean, they're just...
Who are they?
People have been having children for 10,000 years or more.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
I found myself...
Written record of what happens when you're pregnant, I will say, goes back at least 10,000.
She does have to keep reminding me of the fact that the ear bones have not formed, because I keep talking to the stomach like, hey, what's going on in there?
She's got to be able to like feel vibrations, I think, though.
You're not allowed to lock that door.
Feel the vibration.
You're singing some... Is that
Marky Mark?
CNC? Is that, it's
Oh,
Marky
no,
Mark.
you're right.
No, it's Marky Mark.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. It all kind of melts together. That 90s hip hop dance stuff. Let's see. Baby is standing up straight, growing by leaps and bounds. Your baby is leaping and bounding. All right. Let's say leaps and bounds a couple more times.
So, somebody was an English major.
now the size of a navel orange or your clenched fist. You showed me that the other day. Like, that's how big she is. She's the most. Oh wait. She's on the move almost constantly, and those movements are a far cry from those jerky twitches of last trimester. Though you won't feel any of them for weeks to come, they are now ballet-like, smooth and fluid.
I don't know.
They're creating such weird imagery in my head.
I mean, it's all magic.
Speaking of ballet, it'll be years before you'll start nagging your offspring to stand up straight, but unbelievably, she's doing it right now without any prodding. No slouch anymore. Your baby's neck is getting longer, helping her head stay more erect. This gives your fetus more of a straightened out appearance. Sit up straight. Posture check.
Posture check.
Posture check for the baby.
I got her.
Better be sitting up straight over there. She can't hear you. She can't hear you.
Weirdo.
14 weeks pregnant is how many months? If you're 14 weeks pregnant, you're in month 4 of your pregnancy. Only 5 months left to go.
God, that's such a small amount of time.
Still have questions? Yes, we do.
So many.
A lot of questions. What is the world going to be like when this baby shows up?
Look,
what will this baby do to influence the world? Where will I go? What's happening?
I don't think.
Where am I?
Idiot.
Sorry. Lots of questions.
I don't think many mothers wish that pregnancy lasted longer, but when they say things like, you've only got 5 months to go, I'm like, can we have like an elephant's gestational period here? Like, I need more time to prepare for this.
You did start taking progress photos.
I did. Yeah. I got one progress photo under my belt now. I am starting to show. I think it's undeniable now. We were convinced that most of it was beer belly before, but I think the baby's slowly replacing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your weight been?
Weight, I've lost a lot of weight.
We've talked about it a little bit. But you said you stalled, right? You kind of.
Yeah, I've kind of evened out now.
You're about at that point anyway, right?
Yeah, I should. They said basically if you don't gain anything for 2 weeks in the second trimester, that's when you need to start upping your calorie intake, eat more avocados, eat more stuff like that.
Guacamole.
Yeah, I've noticed we had guacamole this weekend and nachos, and my weight has stayed very, very steady. Yeah, so I'm not losing any more right now, which is good. And yeah, I should be starting to gain at least half a pound a week moving forward from here, which I'm trying to keep an eye on it because
you've been doing really good about your eating. Like, I know you've had your snacky moments, but
oh yeah, ice cream and cake have been on board.
Right, but you haven't been like scarfing food. You know, you haven't been.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. Like there's
no room.
My portion sizes are half or a third of what they used to be, unless it's cake.
Right.
And for weeks she didn't like pizza. Like I didn't like any chicken, like any of that stuff. I just couldn't handle it. What did she get a hold of?
I just got something before she got a hold of it.
Okay.
It was just a little tie.
Yeah,
zip
but
tie.
so I couldn't. A lot of the bad for me stuff like didn't even sound good, and
Yeah.
now she's kind of settling in, and I can pretty much eat whatever sounds okay. Everything sounds good now, so it's nice. But what is happening with the pup?
She's almost escaped the cone.
She's not getting out of that thing.
Having to weave this cone thing.
She's not getting out of that thing.
I know.
I love that you're doing this during the podcast.
I'm sorry. I thought she looked like she was going to chew on things, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't happening.
She's just going to chew on her feet. Somehow she can still reach her feet in the cone.
But yeah, you think your food aversions, have they kind of gone down a little bit?
Yeah, like cooked chicken was the end of me before, and it's fine now.
It
like
is fairly pungent.
Yeah, God, it smells like death. I didn't like the smell of cooked chicken before I got pregnant. Like so.
Sure.
I pretty much knew what was coming before we even got pregnant. So, but pizza was the one that surprised me because it's genuinely probably my favorite food, and I couldn't eat it for 2 months.
Right. I think that, I don't know, like we took some pictures, right?
Oh yeah, we took some pseudo birth announcement type pictures.
Right,
we didn't do a whole lot of the cute stuff.
And boy, if that doesn't make me want to eat better. It's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, man, just go have someone take some pictures of you, some candids.
We took those 2 or 3 weeks ago.
That's been
2 weeks this weekend.
Was it the weekend after or before we went to North Carolina? Because North Carolina was 3 weeks ago. It was the weekend before.
Okay, so 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was 10 weeks then. Okay. Yeah, so I was not showing technically, and I looked like I was showing.
Yeah,
so.
I looked like I was showing in a few places. I looked like I had babies growing in a few places on my torso.
Those pictures made me really want to do squats.
yeah, but
so I'm trying to find, pregnancy safe exercises. I can't do any kind of ab workouts after 20 weeks. So I'm limited after 20 weeks on what I can do, because if it engages your abs, even like not only can you not do crunches and bicycles and stuff like that because of the separation of your ab muscles that starts to occur, you can worsen that if you start doing that. But like you can't do body exercises that engage your abs. So
right. You don't want to mess up the space that's being made, right? Because it's already making space, and you don't
it also makes your post-delivery recovery harder. Okay. Like you don't get your body back the same way if you develop those muscles in a weird spot.
Right.
So it's basically walking's your best bet no matter what. But I want to do some arm exercises, and I want to do butt exercises while I can, because your butt exercises do tend to engage your abs too and your core. So I gotta be careful. But there's a lot of resources on like Pinterest and what to expect and stuff. So
yeah, I wonder how does and this is something that you might not know, but how does like someone who's insanely in insanely good shape, right?
Mm-hmm. Not me.
right. But so someone that's got like abs, right? Like a chick. Like, so when she gets pregnant, like how does that change the way it makes room for a baby? Does it change?
No, I mean it's just she's in better condition to have a baby usually. Like
really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, her
I didn't know if like more muscles and more muscle mass would make
kid takes
less
precedence.
Space.
No,
okay.
Kid takes precedence. I mean, like if you have a small frame, like you're just not big boned, like small framed already, then your kid might have some less space. My cousin just dealt with that because she's like 5'3".
She's tiny. Your stepmom's tiny.
Yeah, and she didn't have any issues though. I don't know if that had. So my stepmom was athletic and tiny because she was a gymnast, and then my cousin is just a tiny person.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of a ton of athletics that she did, and they had to take the baby early for her because the baby ran out of room.
How early? That baby was giant too,
2 weeks.
by the way, wasn't it?
No, I mean she was normal size.
Okay.
She was like 6 pounds.
Someone told us they were a 10-pound baby, or they.
It was not. It was not my cousin's baby. She was 6 pounds 8 ounces. I want to say. So.
It was our friend in Florida.
Yeah,
she was a 10-pound baby.
Yeah,
she's not a big person, she's a tiny person, but
she's like 5'5" and tiny. Yeah,
she was a big baby. She's like, I was 10 pounds when I was born. It's like,
don't say that. No. Yeah. So athletic people, like they still get the ab separation and stuff, but they're it's muscle memory still, like you hear people talk about their muscle memory when they used to be athletic and then they get back into it and blah, blah, blah. I mean, my stepmom bounced back from 2 kids really well, like C-section and normal birth. So it's obviously the optimal way to go into it. I'm not there, right. But people less healthy than me have had babies and bounced back too. So It's going to be fine. I'm knock on wood. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be great. It's going to be all right. Let's see. 1 down, 2 to go. Welcome to second trimester, almost every pregnant woman's favorite, and for good reason. As many first trimester pregnancy woes wane, you're most likely feeling a bit peppier and a lot more human. With any luck, your breasts aren't quite as tender as they were last trimester, and your energy level should be making a comeback. More good news on the horizon, less morning sickness, and fewer trips to the potty to pee. You pee a lot anyway.
Lies.
Even cooler is the fact that it may be time to start hitting those maternity boutiques because you're going to be starting to show.
I'm showing.
I'm showing. Me too. Let's just go maternity shopping together. Do they have maternity clothes for men?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Round ligament pain. Yeah, you're talking about that. Pregnant bellies. We talked about that. Last thing, staying healthy. As if you didn't have enough pregnancy symptoms to contend with, you're also more susceptible to colds, flu, and other bugs when you're expecting.
Yeah.
You got a flu shot. That's good.
I did get a flu shot. Everybody keeps asking me that. And I'm like, I got it.
That's because nature wisely suppresses your immune system during pregnancy to focus on your fetus, a foreigner to your body, from being rejected. Oh, okay. Makes sense. They don't want to rid the alien yet, right?
There was stuff I was reading before we got pregnant about like how different moms react to, if they're having a boy, especially like the excess testosterone, and just like a boy is much more alien to a female body. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they get like even sicker and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
like more morning sickness and stuff like that?
No, I mean like colds and things like that.
Oh, they're more susceptible.
There's a lot of old wives' tales about like your morning sickness level with a boy or a girl.
Really?
Like, yeah, I can't remember exactly how they go because we found out so early what the gender was. I didn't have to guess very long, but there's a lot in there. It's so interesting. And then you start getting into like RH blood factor and the actual biological like problems that can come with your body treating this thing like an alien.
Right, right. The key to staying healthy is to engage in some germ warfare. More than ever, the best defense is a strong offense, especially when germs are being passed around your office or home, like, what is that? Canopies? What is that? CANAPES.
I don't know.
And it's got a little stress over the E. Either way, wash your hands often. You're coughing over there. You all right?
I just got like phlegm in my throat. Sorry, coffee.
Here comes the cold. No,
it's the coffee.
Wash your hands often and carry liquid sanitizer for times when a sink's not handy. Thankfully, we've been kind of keeping you in.
Yeah. We got the pandemic going on, and my job's allowing me to work from home, and
which is great.
Yeah, and you're doing most of the grocery runs if they're needed. Occasionally, I'll go do like a click list from one of the grocery stores.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm staying at home.
Hey,
in my fortress.
Keep that orange safe.
That I've been in for 7 months already.
At least it's a nice fortress.
Yeah,
right?
we got
spacey. It's roomy.
Cool roommates and puppies. We got a nice outdoor space. We got a decent neighborhood to walk around in. So I'm a little cooped up, but it could be worse.
Yeah, and we've been getting you out a little bit to do some stuff.
We went to see our your brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
whatever we can do to keep the sanity going.
A little stir crazy, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I guess what's kind of nice is you had some practice being cooped up.
Yeah.
Before now, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like it's a sudden thing. So we've kind of been doing that together, and so it's kind of become the new normal almost. You know, as far as like we don't go out and do as much like just willy-nilly stuff like we used to.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what do you want to do today? Let's just go to a brewery. Let's go,
I miss that so much.
Let's go walk around town or something like that. It's not quite There's more thought that has to go into going out and doing stuff.
We go look at houses a lot more. We
You can stay in the car. It's great.
drive around and look at what's for sale. And we're not like in the market or anything, but we're always keeping our eye out for a good deal.
It's like, man, I'm glad I have a house now.
Yeah.
I've had this house 18 years.
Nice.
This month.
Look at you.
18 years.
Look at you, responsible.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some of those years are questionable.
The market's insane right now. Even if we found our dream house, I'd never justify whatever the inflated price they put on it is.
Right. So, I don't know, but we're 14 weeks in. Can you believe it?
No.
It's going to go faster.
It's going so fast already, man.
We're almost at the top of the roller coaster hill.
What week did we start this at?
We started at week
10, 9?
Episodes.
Episodios.
If it'll load, Anchor's got a friggin'. All right. We started at week 8. We started at week 8. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's awesome.
Gosh.
Heck yeah.
There's so much to do, so much to see.
So much to do, indeed. Guys, thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it. We look forward to sharing more of the journey and more of our. I feel like we did a lot of our inner dialogue was just coming out today.
Yeah.
Like all the fears are out on the table and there's more to come.
I thought we were going to tell more stories about like some of the other things and creepy kids and stuff today, but it just didn't work out that way.
It didn't work out. We're creeping ourselves. We're giving ourselves a little bit of a scare during the Halloween season.
Yay.
You're all goth over there with your black nails.
It's Halloween week, man. I painted my nails black. Get off it.
Yeah. We're dressing up as skeletons this year.
Yeah.
The lazy way. Like tuxedo t-shirt way. Like
oh, yeah.
Skeleton t-shirt.
I got a skeleton with a baby skeleton in the belly.
Oh, yeah. We'll take pictures and put it up on the Twitter.
Yay.
All right, sweeties.
Yay.
We'll see you next time. Write into us perenniallyunprepared@gmail.com or on Twitter @punpreparedpod. All right. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.